Hello everyone. How are we doing? Good morning for those in America. 7 in the morning. Hope you're doing fine. I've got a guest in the waiting room waiting for me. I'll get to you in a minute, Greg. My apologies, bud. Are you okay there? Let's have a bit of a boogie. Hope everyone's doing well and fine. How's your day going? We've got Dean in the room as well now. I'll bring him on in a second. We're nearly there, everyone. Hey! Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special hour, 7 o'clock over in some parts of America, anyway. And it's midday here in the UK. Midday in the UK. I've got some guests waiting in the waiting room to come on here at Banter Towers. They're waiting down in the dungeon, so I better bring them out of there quite sharpish. I'll just let you know what we're doing today. We are doing a 24-hour live, or I'm doing my part of it, for the Unstoppable Camaraderie 24-hour fundraiser for heroes, badges, and warriors. So, welcome. This is the 14th hour of the TCRMI. That is the Camaraderie Rescue Mission Inc. I've got a guy in the waiting room who can tell us a bit more about that. He knows a lot more than I do because basically he set it up. We're doing a 24-hour fundraiser to bring awareness to our veterans who struggle with PTSD and losing hope. I'm Carl Sullivan, live stream host for the hour. Myself, I've never done any service, but I have family. Both my grandparents were, back in the day. I believe there was a war on. They both served there. I think one was in the Navy and one was in the artillery. And, I've met lots of military myself. So my friends were in the military, in the Marines. And also, I was a prison officer at one time, and I've met a lot of lads who, have gone through unfortunate things and ended up on the wrong side of the bars, and on my side as officers as well. So there's a lot out there, and there's a lot of connection for everybody. I think we've all got some sorts of connection to veterans. This event, which runs until 6 p.m. Eastern Time, that is, brings awareness of the programs the TCRMI run. It has collaborations made with other organisations and how we help veterans gain hope while living with PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder, just in case you didn't know. Now, if you would like to donate, you can do so by going to the link. I've got it in the ticker. It's coming here. It'll be there. It'll come along in a minute. And I've also put it in the comments there. Donate by going to the link tinyurl.com, Hope for Vets. Or you can make a checkout to the address that's there as well. Camaraderie Mission Inc. Yeah, and mail it to Greg Bicknell, USAF, CM Sergeant, retired at 1532 Congress Way, Lakeland, Florida, 33813. We appreciate your donations. Every penny counts. If you can donate $1, that's fine. If you can donate $1,000, that's fine as well. It doesn't matter. Any little amount that you can spare helps to make a difference. We appreciate all your donations. Also, anybody who donates in increments of $100, their name will be put into a 6-month Freedom Boat Club membership draw. Now that's amazing. Go out on the boat for the day. Fantastic prize. So you have to donate $100 to that, and your name will go into the draw. The value is that is over 7,500. I would say pounds, dollars. So the winner will be drawn when they've sold, or when the 2,222 tickets have been given out, as it were. So 2,222 people have donated. If you want it, just donate 2,222 times. You're guaranteed. There's not that many, so you got a good chance of winning. And it's all for a good cause, so anyone who does donate, they're the winner anyway, and in my eyes. Right where we are. Over these 24 hours, will be live stream shows going on with supporters and veterans sharing their stories and organisations that help make a difference to our veterans' lives. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We've got a few people in the comments there. I'll get to the comments in a moment. Let me get through my little blurb I've got to say now. Let us know where you're coming from. And also, it's early in the morning. I've just had my cup of tea. I'm Team Tea, and I want to know, are you Team Tea or are you Team Coffee? Team Tea for the win. Just let me know. Right, TCRMI is a veterans organisation that was founded by Mr. Greg Burknell, and my apologies to my guests in the waiting room. I know they're there. I will get to you momentarily. I've had a surprise guest, but I'm just so glad he's decided to do that, and I can bring him on, and that is Mr. Greg Burknell himself. So this is going to be fun. Mr. Burknell had brain surgery that did not go well, and the result was to be medically discharged. In his journey, he realised that he needed help after having suicidal ideations, and after getting up the courage to ask for help, he was told to make an appointment. The fire under Mr. Burknell was the driving force for him to start the TCRMI, so that no one else would have to endure being put on a waiting list once they decided to reach out for help. I totally understand. I mean, can you imagine it? You've reached rock bottom, and you phone someone. You make that call to reach someone for help, and you say, "Oh yeah, we'll get back to you. You know, just see you soon." Well, that's just not what you need to hear, is it? And you know, he stepped up and he decided to do something about it. TCRMI exists to vitalise, enrich the mentality and the mental, physical, and spiritual and emotional health of active military and veterans, teeth in, first responders, and the communities they serve. Dorothy Odell and her friend Tim, St. Tim, decided to come alongside TCRMI due to her love of helping the veteran family and knowing that 28 veterans a day die by suicide. And that's something that needs to change. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? 20, that's over that 8,000 in a year. It's just ridiculous amounts of people dying for suicidal tendencies, or, you know, feeling they've got nowhere to go. It's terrible. So Dorothy had Mr. Bicknell on her Monday night show. That is the Unstoppable Overcomers on January. That was episode 44, and you can go and check it out on YouTube. Unstoppable Overcomers. Go and check it out. It's worth a watch. Dorothy and Tim have done other 24-hour live stream fundraisers for cancer. I know I was involved in that one as well. and they thought, why not go and help the veterans? So here they are, and we are, and that's what it's all about today. We're trying to raise funds for the veterans, or for these veterans charities, to give them all the help we can. Like I say, every dollar helps. It's trolling down there who you can contact, and it's in the messages there who you can get in touch with, links to donate. So please donate. Dorothy and Kim, I'm sorry, I've missed a bit here, sorry. Yes, let's go back. Sorry if I do. Right. Dorothy Odell and Kimberly Genovese are fired up to help TCRMI grow and help save veterans' lives. So that's why we're all here today, to show up, to change lives. Dorothy and Kimberly also serve on board of the charity and are here to make a difference. There are hundreds of veterans and first responders struggling with hope and feeling lost. Each person's story is different. We are all different. We all experience life in a different way. Each person is impacted in a different way, as we have discovered on Unstoppable Overcomers. TCRMI is always hard at work with its many programs, including just to be able to go for the coffee and camaraderie. And sometimes, believe it or not, that's all it needs. Like I said, I'm not a veteran, but I do suffer from the depression and mental health issues, and just someone being aware of that, and you know, because you don't want to talk about, you don't want to bring people down. You know, oh, you're gonna blah blah blah. It's how I feel anyway. You know, bringing the vibe down, shall we say? But if people are aware of that, and you just that ability to let off a tiny little bit of steam, or just know someone's there to listen, even if you don't mention it, the fact that you know there's someone there just helps unbelievably. So these coffee mornings and camaraderie camps, or whatever, just will be a beautiful thing to do. Now, I would like to introduce my guest. Now, my first one, not my surprise guest. He'll have to introduce himself in a minute. But my first one is Dean Wagner of Authentically American, and a veteran DIY clothing company. So let me bring Dean in, because I've already assigned him a place. Assign guest one. Let's bring him in. Hello, Dean, sir. How are you doing?
Well, Carl, I'm doing fantastic. Great to see you, and just sitting back here in the green room and hearing the chatter. I just love your passion and energy.
Thank you, sir. I mean, it's obviously nothing like yours, and the people that have set up this charity. You're far more important than I am. Far more important than I. Although I have got the better beard out of the two of us. I think I've got that on you, mate. I think
I've
I've got
still
that.
got the military, discipline shave, so I've not gone the beard route yet.
Well, before we introduce you, mate, we've got a few people in the comments. You don't mind if I just say hello to these and have a look at the
Please
comments?
do. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Mark Lee, who's up next after me, he's in the house. Hello, sir. My comment's not being shown there. He's saying hello to my bearded brother across the ocean. Glad to see you helping this amazing effort. And St. Tim's popped in. Hey, hey, Team T is another Team T here. Every dollar counts. Donate by going to the https //tinyurl.com/hope for vets. And you can make the checkout to the address, which should be plopping around there. I'll bring that up in a minute. The scrolling ticket. Oh, there it is. It's coming down now. It's there now. We're all right, Dean. It's popped up again. Team Coffee for the win. I don't think so. Durham, New York in a house, and of course is Team T. What a guy. What a guy. Team T. Dean, what about you? Are you Team T or Team Coffee? Dean.
Say that again. I didn't hear the
Sorry,
question,
are
Carl.
you Team Tea or Team Coffee?
I guess I am today.
Are you? Which one are you? Do you drink tea or do you drink coffee?
Oh, I didn't hear I didn't understand the question.
Sorry,
So I've got a
it's
big cup of coffee right here. So
that'll be my accent, even though I've not got an accent. I think you might say I have. Gareth Alsop, a friend of mine, is in the house. Morning, Carl. Morning, Gareth. Kimberly's in the house as well. Oh, she drinks both. She plays both teams. George McProut, good morning from Michigan. And Dean, are you Team Tea or Team Coffee? We've already got there. We've already asked that question. Right, sorry, Dean, we've gone through all that. Thank you for everyone that's checked in the comments. I'm sorry for rambling so much that you can see that when I get a bit nervous or a bit excited, I just tend to ramble. But would you like to tell us a bit about yourself, and your charity organisation as well, please?
certainly, Carl. So I start with what's most important to me, and I tell everybody I'm a veteran and I'm an entrepreneur, and my priorities in life align with God, family, and country. And my Christian faith is first and foremost in my life. And just 2 weeks ago, Carl, my wife and I celebrated 28 years. So we've been married 28 years, and we have four amazing kids. So
Fantastic.
we have two daughters, 24 and 21. We have an 18-year-old son, and we have a 12-year-old son we adopted from Ethiopia.
All right.
So
Well,
family with four kids, it keeps us busy, keeps us
keeps you on your
hopping.
toes.
You got it. So God, family, and from a country standpoint, was honored to graduate from West Point, the United States Military Academy in 1993.
Right.
And I went to flight school, so learned how to fly helicopters. After flight school, had a unique opportunity to attend the Army Special Forces Ranger School, and then
Wow.
served 7 years active duty, Carl. And it's those 7 years plus the 4 years at West Point and the incredible men and women that I served with that just left this lasting impression to me that those who serve our country are American heroes. And there's
Yes.
nothing more tragic than the statistics that you cited earlier about the number of deaths and the number of suicides that happen. So I'm honored to be a guest, and I love Greg's passion and his commitment to make a difference. So that's why I wanted to be here to join and help drive even more support and donations.
Thank you, mate. We appreciate it so much. And like I say, I know I'm from across the pond, but I think, and it's more based to the American audience, but we have vets from the army over there, and we're brothers and sisters across the pond, English and America. I think we're all great friends, and I don't think matter where you live in the world, really, you can all relate to the cause here. I think it's important for everyone. Don't you agree?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Those that are willing to raise their right hand and commit to preserve, protect, and defend, the Constitution of the United States, or the whatever country you live in. I mean, it's an incredible commitment and an admirable profession. Anybody that commits to serve and defend.
I mean, we do a lot with NATO as well, don't we? So we are all connected in them respects.
And I will tell you, Carl, it's no more relevant today than it's ever been, given the war in Ukraine and the
Yeah.
threats that a crazy leader like Putin's making, and nuclear war. So, I mean, it is important for us to have a strong military and a strong defense.
Sure. I agree. I agree, mate. And so, what's this authentically American? What's this about, mate?
So, authentically American, Carl, we are a veteran-owned, American-made premium apparel brand. We have amazing product, and it's all made here in the U.S. That, Carl, may not mean as much to you sitting on the other side of the pond, but for those U.S. listeners, to give some context on how rare American-made is, when I graduated from West Point in '93, over 50% was made in the U.S.
Hmm.
Today, it's 3.
Wow.
That is all that's made here. And Carl, that shocking statistic gave birth to our tagline, "Where is yours made?"
Yes.
And it's designed to be provocative. It's designed to get people to look, because most people don't give a thought to look at the tag.
Yes.
But I often ask, and it's not as relevant for you, Carl, but I will say, hey, great looking shirt, where's yours made?
Yeah.
And most people are shocked to look at the tag and see made in China,
Yeah.
made in
It's
Vietnam, made somewhere over the
yeah.
US.
It's the same
And
here.
the
I understand.
whole
Sorry.
impetus behind And the whole impetus behind today, the veteran focus, country of origin, American made, made in USA, that is meaningful to veterans. They want to support the American worker. They want to believe in our country. So that's what we're all about. First and foremost, amazing product, but it's all made here in the US because we believe in the American worker.
I completely understand it. And again, like I say, I'm not American, but yes, I can understand that because it's the same here. Well, no matter what you pick up, it's made in China. And if you have the choice of two items there, one made in China, with nothing against China at all, you crack on, do what you can do. But if you had the choice of supporting a small Chinese firm or supporting a homegrown firm, I think anyone rightfully would hopefully go to their homegrown firm, whether it be one in England or one in America across the pond, as like your authentically America is. And you would hope people would reach out and try to support you. But 3% is homegrown. That is a
Shocking.
shocking statistic.
And it really was all about Carl chasing cheap labor. So
Yes. And
that's what it's all about. And, we have changed our business model to allow us to not only have amazing product to be American made, but be competitively priced.
right.
So
Yes.
you can't go to Amazon, you can't go to Macy's and buy authentically American. The only way you can buy authentically American is on our website, authenticallyamerican.us.
Yes.
And we have a consumer side, things that are authentically American branded, whether it's a polo, t-shirt, socks, hoodies, anything like that. We also have collegiate licenses. So we started with my alma mater of West Point. So I'm wearing one of our new custom Hawaiian style shirts today, just being in the fun, being festive in the spirit. But we not only have West Point, we have all the military schools. So we have Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, VMI, Citadel, Coast Guard Academy, Merchant Marine Academy. So all the military schools we have licenses for. But then we have Alabama and Auburn. But why I'm so excited to be here today, not only can we help raise more money with this fundraiser, but I know Greg is going to be talking to my team next week. And like most charities and organizations, Greg's looking to have t-shirts, have some branding out there in the marketplace. And Carl, what we do to reinforce our giving back as well is when we partner with a charity or nonprofit, we provide our goods and services at cost. So, for example, we have big clients like Pepsi and Comcast.
Right.
So, Pepsi and Comcast prices here, Greg's price is here.
Yes.
So, there's a gap. And what that allows Greg to do, that allows him to raise money and build his brand and make a difference.
That's brilliant. At cost, that's fantastic. Well done on that, mate. Um,
Yeah.
some people in the comments are saying George was in the army for 6 years. I don't think the comments are appearing as I'm trying to bring them onto the show. So my apologies for that. I don't know what's happening there.
No, please
I'll read them.
engage the
Tim's
audience.
Tim saying congratulations on your 28th wedding anniversary. I do agree with that. Well done. I'm sure you had a
Thank you.
great time. We love our friends across the pond, says Tim. Stephen Fleming's just dropping in to show support. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Again, we're trying to raise money for the charity, the TCRMI. I know I'm going to say it wrong, and I don't know why I struggle to get out. TCRMI. Details are on the scrolling ticket and in the comments there. You can find out where to donate there. And Tim's giving a shout out to authenticallyamerican.us. Mark Lee saying, any ACC schools or HBCUs in the list yet? Maybe I can help you get those if you don't have them. They are historically black college and universities. So he's reaching out to you there, Dean.
So I don't know if it's in the show notes, Carl, but you have my email. So happy to post that in the show notes. So D. Wegner at authenticallyamerican.us, and Fisk University, for example, is right close to us in Nashville. So we're having very preliminary discussions, but the HBCU universities really resonates with me because, Carl, you heard my fourth child we adopted from Ethiopia.
Yes.
So we have an African American child, and we adopted him when he's been a year and a half. So he's been with us 10 years. So long before George Floyd, long before the tragic things that happen right
Yes.
now. So my wife, Kelly, and I, we personally embrace diversity. We embrace diversity as a business. So whoever that was that, had an interest, if they see my email there in the show notes, or they just notice D. Wegner at authenticallyamerican.us, would be honored to help.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm just writing it down now. After I've done my bit here, it was Mark Lee. I'll send him your email in a private
wonderful
message just to make sure we get that done. So I'll write that down there.
And Carl, the other piece was the ACC. So we don't have any ACC schools yet, but the way our business works, so we've got the consumer side and we have a client side. So we have businesses, charities, and organizations. So we have big companies like Pepsi and Comcast. We have big charities like Wounded Warrior and Tunnel to Towers and Team Red, White, and Blue. But the only way we add new licenses is think of it as a client within that school, because it's expensive to add a license. It's expensive to go ahead and commit to that. But for example, if we had a club within a university, if we had an alumni program, if we had a department within the school, so if they wanted to run a program with us, then we make that investment in adding the license.
Okay, fine. Sorry, I've just noticed Tim's added your email in the message there, so I'm sure Mark can. I'll still send it just in case, but it's there in the messages. Dean Wagner at authenticallyamerican.us.
Yep, WEGNER, D. Wagner.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it, Mark, anyway, just to make sure. I have looked at your site, and I did notice the Hawaiian t-shirt. There was a red one I quite like as well. I thought they're quite fun. Yes. I do like my Hawaiian shirts, my short sleeve shirts. So you've got some funky shirts out there, mate. I do like them.
Apparel should be fun, Carl. I mean, you have a fun spirit to you, and apparel shouldn't just be, hey, what am I going to put on today? It should be, what am I going to have fun with today? What am I going to wear and make a statement? And I'm wearing this shirt because the Army football team is playing an ACC team playing Wake Forest. So we were asked to come and support, the Army tailgate here for the local society. So we're donating 20% of our sales, to the local society, to the local charity.
Right, fantastic. Go team. What are they called? Do you know the names? The football team name.
So Army football, so we're the Black Knights.
Yes, Black Knights. And who's the opposition?
So the Wake Forest Deacons.
Deacons, the Black Knights v the
Yep.
Deacons.
Yep. So it's our primary foe is Navy, so it's go Army, beat Navy, but it's also beat Wake Forest, beat the Deacons.
Yes. So my dog's come to just to say hello. Well, you can't see me; it's just offline. Right. I think now it's about time. We've had Greg waiting in the dungeon for a long time now here in Panther Tower. So if you're okay, Dean, I'll bring him
Oh,
in.
please do.
We're gonna have to squish up a little. It might be a bit of a tight squeeze, but let me see if I've got him in here now. Oh, there we go.
Hey, good morning.
Hello,
Hey.
sir. How are you doing? Great to have you
Oh
on the
man, I
show.
tell you what, I'm sitting here listening to this, and I'm just getting excited because this is the camaraderie connection and kind of what we're doing. It's been this thing that Dean and I met actually through a mutual friend, right? And so we got connected, and that's really what this whole weekend's about. Is we have 24 hours of all these different people. Dean and what he's doing, his service to our country, as well as authentically American. We have folks that are doing yoga that have this great organization. My KC is out there. And it's just this thing we've all come together and said, you know what, we want to do more. We want to help the best we can. And the cool thing about it is Dean and I didn't know each other, but he said yes because he wants to show up for his brother. That's those military roots. And I do appreciate that. I don't want to step over that because that's absolutely amazing. And Carl, you came on, you're across the pond, but you're one of the brothers because Dorothy asked me. So this is pretty cool right now. I'm going to tell you, Dorothy is from Canada. We've got Carl that's on here. You're over at the UK. We had a guy, it's from different locations. And it's been really cool to see how folks have come together because the streaming community, whether they're supporting cancer, whether they're supporting veterans, it's all about love and it's coming from the heart. And that's what really impresses me. And so that's been awesome. So, Carl, I was going to tell you, you're talking about the Freedom Boat Club thing that we're doing. There's actually 4 locations in the UK. I didn't know if you know that.
I did. I've checked it out. I've had a look. Some beautiful.
So
I'd love to be out there on the boat.
People are over there wanting to do that. There's 4 locations, and realistically, you can kind of get hooked up, and it's just a cool thing.
About that. So if they entered from the UK, it would still be valid in the UK.
Yeah, they would get it a little bit different because of that situation, because we do have the home location here in Winter Haven, which they could go unlimited, and all the other locations around the world is 4. You can go 4 times a year. But yeah. I want to hit with the reason that Dean's on here, and this is about the clothing line and what we talked about. Dean, you may not know this, but I already talked to your staff. So I talked to Pat. And I talked to Sarah, and it was a great conversation. I mean, we had a lot of fun. And I'll tell you what, both of those two really know their stuff. So Sarah was breaking it down for me, explaining. I mean, she really, I'll call it, and I mean this in the best possible way, she nerded out on me when it came to clothing, and I loved it because she explained it. I got to learn something. I got a lesson. You know what I mean? They taught me something, and it was really cool. So I fully, you're going to send me some samples. We're getting that set up. And honestly, to get the brand out there, why not? If you're going to buy something, let's support America. Let's support American, authentically American, and then get that out there. So, we're going to have something coming through. The cool thing that I liked about what you guys do is you build the stores. And so for someone like me or other companies out there that are looking maybe to tag up with someone, is that you guys do the drop shipping. And you guys it's a one-stop shop. They do the ordering, you do the pre-orders, 14 days, whatever the case may be. And then the stuff gets delivered from there, right? I don't want to speak out of turn here. That's correct. Is that correct, Carl? Not Carl, I'm sorry, Dean.
Yeah.
You are absolutely perfect because your primary focus is raising funds and making a difference and doing everything that the next 24 hours is all about. But part of that is having amazing apparel that helps communicate your message from a grassroots level. So you don't want to have to worry about the graphic design. You don't want to have to worry about building an online store. You don't want to worry about shipping from your garage. So we take care of all that for you. We've got your back.
Yeah, and that's what I thought was amazing about it. As soon as I saw dropship, I was sold because I'm in my office right now, and I've had these packages stacked up, so high. And then I keep going to the store and keep going to UPS or keep going down to the post office and say, hey, mail these. And honestly, I like you get so busy that again, that's not my main deal. I want to be out there and use my time efficiently and wisely. I don't mind mailing it out because people need to get their stuff right. But at the end of the day, things like this and focusing on, hey, who's the next person that we can reach out and connect with? And you've met a bunch of them through these 24 hours. And, meeting you guys and through Angel, she's going to talk about sports faith here in a couple hours. It's absolutely just the perfect setup to make sure that we all grow together. And that's really the camaraderie rescue mission way is I don't care, not to speak but I don't care if it's my logo that you see here on the screen that gets all the publicity. I want the person that needs the help to get the help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I bring all these other nonprofits who have their own challenges with funding, is I'm also trying to figure out a way to get nonprofits funded without having to do maybe these 24-hour fundraisers. So we're going to go into the business sector, and we're going to take some of these things that amazing people are doing, and we're going to have that where we can walk into these companies and businesses, and the training dollars will help facilitate that, and then the company gets a great deal because they get a tax write-off. And so that's something that's down the road. I kind of teased that last night, and they started asking too many questions, so I have to pull back because I'm working with. I went through a lot of the entrepreneur schools, and I'm always trying to learn. And then we got this great one here. It's in Tampa called Action Zone. And matter of fact, I got to get ready and head over there here in a little bit. I'll be talking from the car. But in Action Zone, they have folks there. It's just like you're sitting down with your mom, and your mom's trying to hope, she's praying that you're going to be successful because she doesn't want you to come back home and live with her, right? So, or maybe she does. But it's one of those things that they really have the heart. They're here in the local area. We're connecting with those guys, and they're just teaching me a ton. And so even though that I've been doing this for quite a while, I want to connect with them because they're locally, and we're building this new way of making things happen. So, amazing that you guys are on here. I'm loving what you're doing. I'm loving the fact that you got up early this morning because I had my cup of coffee when I first came on this morning. I also had this bottle was kicking out here. I was like, maybe I'll throw some of that down, and nobody quite got the joke, so it was a deadpan. So I was like, okay, I'll get rid of that one. That was no good. But we were up late last night. Yeah, we were up late last night, and if you saw the 12 o'clock show, we were getting a little slap happy. And so they made sure that I went to bed. So I started getting in trouble and getting grounded. They said, Greg, get some sleep. So,
well, Greg, you've been
I'm honored to be here. As I say, I'm honored to be here, and any friend of Angel's is a friend of mine. And then when I read about you and your commitment and passion and what you're looking to do, I mean, I was all in and honored to be here. And people have also asked, Greg, well, Dean, why do you provide at a cost? Why do you do that? Why don't you want to make money? It's not that we don't want to make money. Mm-hmm. But we want to help you. You've got a passion. You want to go ahead and make a difference. And although we don't make any money, we cover our cost. And then we help an amazing, individual. We help an amazing organization like yours, build your brand and raise some money in the process.
It just shows that you're a company with heart. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people should appreciate that. And if I was over there and I was thinking, who would I got? You can see I've got branded T-shirts and things. If I lived that way, I would think, well, I know this company. It has a great guy at the heart of it, and it donates to charity. I'd use him straight off. So I think you do a wonderful job, and I think people should come to you just because of where your heart's in the right place there, Dean.
Yeah, and I like I. What's that?
I was going to say you talked with Pat and Sarah, and we're all about American made. We love being veteran owned, but what will really go ahead and convince you that you made the right decision is when you see and feel and touch the samples you get next week, because we're a consumer brand, and ultimately what's most important is amazing product. Because if you get the samples and you're like, Dean, these stink, I mean, you'll never do business with us. But when you see and feel them and you're like, this is the best of the T-shirt I've ever felt. It's incredibly soft. I don't know if you're looking at socks, T-shirts, hoodies, whatever it is, but you will be so impressed when you see the product.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing, Carl, is you'll find out that veterans, we're pretty honest with each other. You know what I mean? So if I get this shirt and it really did suck, I'd be like, hey, Dean, thanks for coming on. Your product sucked. Now get off. You know what I mean? But that's not what's going to happen, because that's not what's going to happen. I'm thoroughly convinced that I know for a fact it's not going to happen because, like I said, after Sarah gave me the lesson in textiles and spun cotton and all these other kind of things that she laid it out for me, I just know it's going to be amazing, and what you're doing too. So I started doing some research, started looking it up, started looking at what you guys are doing, and I'm like, this is really awesome. Like I said, it's when I saw the fact that you were giving back and not just taking, then that really makes it. That goes to my heart very quick. And too often, and with this situation here, we brought in, like I said, we brought in a lot of different nonprofits that we just want to see their success as well. Matter of fact, there's one LLC that's here local to me that work with horses, and we do stuff with horses, barbecue, and water. We could say animals, food, and nature, but horses, barbecue, and water sounds much better, I think. But they're a new organization, right? And I worked with the lady's husband, and we want to help them grow as well. So I wouldn't, we're going to check out their operation, and then we're going to bring veterans in, and we're going to help fund them. And it's that way of giving back and getting a connected community, because when someone is having that bad day, you don't want them to be questionable whether or not they want to reach out to you. You want them to feel comfortable and say, hey, I need a little bit of help today. I want to be able to be around for tomorrow. Or have that conversation where you're open and honest with them. So,
Question for you and Greg really as well. We want to have some fun here today as well. Would it be okay if I did a little show and tell, a little product show and tell?
Heck yeah, bring them out.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to
like I
see
said,
them.
I want this whole thing's about, highlighting you. I've talked enough the last 20 or whatever, how many hours we've been on. So let's hear. Yeah, let's see it.
Just before we do that, Dean, I'll just check a few of these comments out. Sorry, if you don't mind, because I've missed this out. Also, we've got this $100 donation. I've got to stop saying pounds. $100 donation, and you can win the 6-month Freedom Boat Club membership. It just amazes me that's for that. That's just brilliant. But also, excuse me, Mark Lee, who, Greg, I believe you're going on his show after my show as well. You're a busy guy. Yeah. You'll be resting after today, I'm sure.
I'm taking Sunday off.
It's also said, anyone in... Oh, no, sorry, that's the wrong one. Where's it gone? Yeah, sorry. One of our live stream hosts, Mark, he said that the first person who donates $500, he'll help create a show and produce it about veterans. And then Philip Jones came on and said, one of the live streamers, he said, if someone donates $650, he'll add on that he'll help with the graphics for the show as well. So Mark will help produce a show on veterans. And, sorry, who was the other guy? Phil Jones, he'll produce the graphics for that show. So that's it. Yeah. $650 donation to get the graphics and $500 for helping produce a show. So everyone's getting stuck in and doing what they can.
Yeah, and that's combined. So that's stacked. That's $500. Then you add another $150. That's the $600. And I'll tell you, I was on $650 total. You get both of those things.
Oh, so
and
that's
if you know
combined.
About
it's not separate.
Yeah, it's combined. It's not separate. It's like one's 500, and the other one's another 150. So it's 650 total. Yeah. So I will tell you, I want to hit this. I went on Mark's show the other day. Yesterday, we were kind of promoting this one, and I came on his stream, and I started watching his intro, and I was just sitting there thinking, man, I want him to produce my show. Like I want to do my own show now because his is so cool coming into it. And then he had these people from one from Australia, one was in the EV industry, Yvette, me, and some other stuff. And I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And so to see them produce it and the way that it comes out and all these streamers and the things that this love that they're bringing, I'm looking at Mark going, man, my board would have really probably reached through the thing and choked me out because they're trying to get me to quit spending my own money. You know what I mean? Because I've written a lot of checks. You know how it is when you start a nonprofit and things. Sometimes you have to go fund yourself for a while. And but I was like, ooh, $500, that's a heck of a deal. And I was ready to pull out my own checkbook and say, let's do this. But I could just see Kimberly Genovese, who you mentioned there earlier. I can just see her literally snarling and ready to reach through the screen and just grab me by my throat and saying, Greg, don't do that. So anyway, they've been very protective of my money, and my wife and my family appreciates that.
Mark's left a comment here. Come meet Lieutenant Colonel Emmett Spurlock. I don't know what that means. I don't know if any of you know what that's on about. No,
I can't see the comments, but Mark, Dean, I'd love to see those closed. That would be awesome right now. Yeah.
We'll bring, Mark Anderson is saying it's great to hear.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, and Greg, you have cool friends. Mark Anderson says you've got some cool friends.
Oh, cool friends. Yeah.
Some cool friends.
Yeah. Mark's a good friend too. Mark and I met, and we were like two brothers that had met in the night. And he does some float tank stuff over in St. Pete. And he has become part of the team very quickly, and he has some great ideas. And you get us together, and it's like ideas. You'll just see sparks flying everywhere, mostly his. But that's why I love having him around. You got to have smart friends if you're the slow one in class, right?
Well, Dean, we were going to get to have a look at your products in a minute. But
no rush.
Greg, I just want to say, you do have a Facebook page for the charity as well, don't you? Camaraderie.
We do. Yes, sir.
So we do. Are you aware that Facebook can offer money for charities or in advertising?
So I am. Yeah, so I am. It's kind of funny. I was trying to get that all set up, and I realized I have a little bit of dyslexia from time to time. And we were getting the Facebook thing set up, and I realized that I put my address wrong. Where you see that 1532, I put down 1523. And so I've got to go back and clean up some of that admin. We got that fixed now, but I did a lot of the paperwork in the beginning myself. Sometimes I paid they call it the stupid tax, I think is something that maybe Dave Ramsey calls it. So I had to redo some paperwork. We've got all that taken care of. It's all good to go. Just because, I was anxious to get things rolling, get the nonprofit going, get people taken care of, and then give people a benefit as well. So when they donate, they've got a tax write-off. So really cool stuff. And then working with these guys, Authentically American, it's just been a cool process. I've learned so much. I love being educated, and I get educated every day in this field because I learn something new and meet new great people.
All right. Mark's come back on. He's saying that lieutenant guy was on about. That's his cousin. He'll be joining your show. So you'll meet him in a bit. No doubt he's going to join him in.
Oh yeah.
And then Richard Brooks in the comments, he's saying, "Hi Carl, how are you doing today?" I'm doing fine. Thank you, Richard. We're trying to raise money now for the Camaraderie Rescue Mission. You can see the scrolling ticker. It's got all the details. I hope to donate to. The link is in the comments as well, just above somewhere. If I can try and find it, I'll read it out. But you can find it in the you can find it in the comments and on the scrolling ticker. It'll come along here. There you go. tinyurl.com /hope for vets. So Dean, we want to see some of your products now. Before we do, I'll just clarify some stuff. So let's say I had a charity. We're going in the fantasy land now. So you can see I've got my logo over there, Carl's Bearded Banter. If I came to you, so look, I've got this charity, it's Carl's Bearded Banter, but I've not got that logo. Could I say to you, I would love to do something. I would love to have something on there, some bearded character like Lord Banter here. Could you design the character for me and the name and the actual logo to put on like that? So if I didn't have this, could you create something like that for me?
Well, the answer is 100% yes. And Greg, you know why? You met Sarah. She gave you an education on apparel, but we've got a whole creative graphic design team. So our idea is to say, okay, we want to help you make your ideas come to life. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, you have a concept, we'll help it make it come to life. And that's the graphic design, fun part up front, but then we'll help it execute as well, back to the building an online store and doing the drop ship.
Yeah, that was cool. I actually was. So, Carl, I was trying to say, I said, well, hey, what if I put my logo with the guys on here? And she was like, Greg, that's licensed. We can't do that. And so she let me know it was a lot nicer than that. She was really a lot nicer than what I'm able to present it. But it was, she let me know real quick, yeah, we can do your own design work and put your stuff on there, put your logo, do all that stuff. And it just makes it super clean. That's what the cool part is. Like I said, is I trust the experts, which I found out a long time ago in my military career. That's the best thing to do. That's why Dean's on here and his crew. Is you trust the experts, and then I sit back and do what I'm an expert at, which is running my mouth and trying to get people to come together and connecting folks, which is what my passion is, and then helping vets and helping first responders and bringing community together. That's the goal.
What I'm going to do now, I'm going to shrink me and Greg into the corner here, and then I'll expand you, Dean, and then you can show us. We should be able to. Oh, I'm a bit bigger than Greg.
He's a true professional here. Look at this.
I know. Look at that, man. Carl's got it down.
And let's bring you.
I didn't know that my head was going to fill up most of the screen this morning when I came on, Carl. So that was pretty shocking. I saw myself and realized all the bags under my eyes, and I could see him a little bit tired there. But this has been awesome. So yeah, have your Dean. Let's see it, man. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the show and tell.
Yeah, well, Carl, one thing I noticed was bearded banter, and hearing you talk, I mean, you're having fun, you're making a difference, helping Greg raise awareness. So that's what I thought about, doing this little demo and have a little bit of fun. So just to give some context on the apparel industry, it is a massive $300 billion industry. Greg, every year people spend over $300 billion a year. And the most ubiquitous, the most common apparel item is the t-shirt. Mm-hmm. So Carl, you're wearing a t-shirt. Greg, it looks like you've got a t-shirt under your polo, and I'm wearing a t-shirt under my Hawaiian shirt. Mm-hmm. So that's the one I thought I'd showcase. So I had mentioned having a consumer side, which includes collegiate licenses. So this is one.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Nice. See, it is printed Go Army. And I wish you guys were here in person, because if you could feel this, and Greg, you'll feel it next week, you're like, Dean, that is the softest t-shirt I've ever felt.
I was going to say, that looks like soft cotton. That looks like soft cotton.
And Carl, that's by design, because who doesn't love a nice soft t-shirt? Yes. The other part, Greg, is the print. Think of a lot of t-shirts in your closet. They have that heavy plastisol ink, and on a hot summer day, it sticks to your chest. You wash it a few times, it will crack. We very intentionally use a soft hand water-based ink, because we want the fabric, we want the print to include tagless, all to be incredibly soft.
That. Yeah, I like that.
And that's what it's all about. But this is this new innovation, Carl. This is this new product innovation we have. It's our sweat activated. So it's especially popular with the Greg with the military, because there's a lot of PT, a lot of physical training. So I'm going to spray this and watch what happens.
Wow, that now
you can see Pete Navy appears. You know?
Yeah, doing magic tricks this morning, Dean. I wasn't ready for the magic tricks.
Magic T-shirts.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
And I love to see that reaction because this, Greg, really reinforces the, hey, love that we're American made, love that we're veteran owned, but it's all about amazing product. And I've had, Greg, people say, Dean, no offense, I don't care where it's made. The shirt's incredibly soft. I can't even feel the print. And like your guys' reaction was like, wow, that's incredible. And here's why it's so important, Greg, because when you create a custom designed shirt, we want it to be whoever purchases it, their new favorite shirt. So if they wear it on Friday, they're like, I love the shirt. I love the cause. I love the quality. I'm going to wash it and wear it again on Saturday. We want them wearing it all the time. And this is just a great example. And it's so unique and so differentiated. And that's why we're so excited to partner with you.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. You said the word ubiquitous earlier, and I was going to say, Dean, you know what? I'm not a West Point grad, so you got to quit using those big words early in the morning. But then you spray some
It's
water
everywhere.
on a shirt, and I'm like, I'm back in. I know what we're talking about now. We're great. So,
Yeah, Dean, you didn't need to tell us all that blurb. All you need to do is get that T-shirt.
that thing was amazing. Yeah, it's like you got to get the kids and show them the magician, show them the tricks, and we're in. That's you can see Carl and I. We're on the same page here, man.
Yes.
You sprayed that shirt, we're in.
Mark Anderson saying that's so gangster.
And Greg, that's why it's so important because if you have this program, you're doing this pre-order, and people are buying them, you don't want them to just wear it once.
Yeah,
You want them to wear it every week. You want them to wear it all the time because when they're out with their friends, when they're out at lunch, when they're out working out, whatever it may be, that leads to the question, well, tell me about, TCRMI. Tell me about that organization, what it's all about. And that's that phenomenal grassroots marketing that is most powerful and most impactful.
yeah, it's really cool. I see that, and like when I work out, I'm connected with another group called, and I'm seeing that, and my wheels are turning. Right, I'm like, I can't. My brain's going super fast right now, like it wasn't before. Right, but I see that, and we've got this bike ride coming up with Shifting Gears United that's happened over Veterans Day, and I see those shirts. And I'm like, it would be so cool to have like that logo on there. And then as we're going, some things that light up as everybody starts getting sweaty, and we're heading down. We're going to go from Key Largo down to Marathon, and just do this long boat trip or long ride trip. Now I'm not up to do a 70-mile ride, so I'm hanging out with Jackie Kapanowski, who's a Hall of Fame Paralympian.
Wow.
But I'm like, I'm really better in the car. And you put me on the radio and kind of give me a mic, or I'm out there and cheer people on. But I was like, that would be so cool as everybody's out there doing their thing. They got those shirts on, and all of a sudden this message comes out. I mean, I'm telling you, you got me hooked. You got me hooked, Dean.
That's the wow, Greg. That's the wow. That's what you want, because then what happens is people start
You've done this
talking.
once or twice. You've done this once or twice. That was a heck of a show. That was a good job.
And Greg, what's nice as well is, this is being broadcast. We're on social media, and here's what you'll find when people have that experience. What do? They take photos. They want to tell stories, and hardly a day goes by since we've done hundreds of custom designs that myself or Authentically Americans not tagged in a picture, because people have fun with it, and that's what it's all about. And when they're having fun, they're posting pictures. That builds awareness, and then in turn, people have awareness. They're making donations.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm looking at my coffee mug now. It says "Coffee, Pray, Repeat," right? And so when I think about when my wife brought me another big cup, I've already went through this one, right? One big one here, and now I've got my second one going, and it was a late night, but I look at that and I say, when I was thinking about this event, as I'm kind of praying and setting up, and Pete and Dorothy, I trusted them 100%, and I always go to the true leader. I go to God and say, here's what I really hope happens. And what's happened is I've just got to meet some amazing people. And then again, the connection part that's there from meeting you through Angel, who will be on at the 9:00 hour. It's just really cool. And then to hear you come on and hear that we have more connections than just military and T-shirts, that the spiritual aspect of that, which is part of what we do as well. I think that's amazing. And I really appreciate you sharing that as well, because that's always something that inspires me, is when people, faith gets you to where you want to go. And people can have faith in what they want. I choose to believe, I'm Christian, and I think that's absolutely amazing. So thank you for sharing that as well, along with your shirts.
I think another thing go on, Dean.
Go ahead, Carl.
But all I was going to say then, I was going to add into that is another thing you notice from my perspective as someone who's running a live stream or part of it is you meet you're both strangers to me, but you kind of make a connection. No matter, we're an ocean away, come all different backgrounds. Backgrounds in the military or backgrounds in your business as you've got there now, Dean. But we can connect and we can have a bit of a laugh. We can talk about the serious subject. Please donate. Go to tinyurl.com. Hope for Vets to donate. Links in the comments. But we can get together. You can realise when you're talking about the spiritual aspect that we are different, but there are things that bring us together. And we're at some level we are, we're the same. And we're all brothers and we're all sisters, and we all get along. And it's just beautiful to see. It kind of brings back a bit of hope. Is that the right word? Or it's a bit of love for the fellow man. Let's put it that way. Do you know what I mean? So you sit on your own. You kind of get. I do anyway. Especially with my chronic depression, you get a bit fed up of the world. The only good the only friends I've got is my dog. You put people for animals are great. Forget about humans, but there are good humans out there, and these sort of live streams sort of proves that. Don't you agree? We can all
no doubt about it, and I wish I could tune in all 24 hours because I'm sure every hour, Greg, there's a powerful story. There's an incredible person behind it. And, you and I got connected as a result of this. And, I just gravitated to your passion and you being a fellow veteran. But, you obviously heard me share earlier about my priorities being God, family, and country. So now that brings us even closer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such a neat thing because, 1 hour we'll have somebody talking about journaling. The next hour, I had Dr. Joseph Tuturi on today who does the undersea oxygen clinic over in there. He's going to try to set the world record on the longest time living underwater here coming up in March. So he's training for that. And then we had Dr. Royster was on with him, and they're just a hoot. I mean, we've known each other for a while. We kind of go back and forth. And, it gets a little spunky. You get 3 veterans on a podcast and it's really early in the morning. And it got a little spicy, we'll say a few times, but it was just a blast. And that's what it's about. You just every hour, again, we wanted folks to showcase what it is that they do and not just make it all about us, because at the end of the day, we want to collaborate. We want to work with folks. We want to bring folks' brand as much as we're trying to grow ours. Our brand is helping folks grow theirs. That's what it's all about, is our brand is connecting and making sure we all succeed together.
Fantastic. Can I just say, up next, we've got Mark coming up in a few moments, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be Mark Lee, and he has conversation with Jonathan Galloway.
Yeah, Galloway. Jonathan Galloway.
Blue and Red Guardians Network, which works with policemen and firefighters, and will send veterans. I think they tag them along to Greg's team.
Yeah, we work together.
Yeah, they all work together. So that's good to see, and that's good to know. I think what we need is another look at that T-shirt, and also, Greg, you've got to show me that bottle of whiskey. I want to see the lid of that whiskey because they always have. It's like a horse rider, isn't it? A jockey on a horse.
This is Blanton's, yeah. We got the jockey on the horse. So actually, each horse has a little label on there. And I'm not advertising for those guys; they don't need my help. But It actually is Blanton's, and you get all the different horses, and it spells the word Blanton's out. So it's a pretty big deal. Sometimes those are hard to come by. And that was just a showpiece. That's just a showpiece. There's sweet tea in there, so no harm, no foul.
Team tea. But yeah, you get the full set. Apparently, it could be worth a few quid, can't they? The full set of them whiskey bottles.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in drinking the content.
What's that?
Greg, I'm going to show you one more product that may be of interest to you because I joke that nobody wears ties anymore. Socks are the new ties. And it's
I love my socks.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
So, I'm going to hold these up and you don't have to expand the window, but you'll see these are a fun patriotic pair. One of them is a blue and white stars. The other one is a red and white stripe. So it's a mismatch.
Yes.
And the last time, Greg, we were on national TV was on Fox and Friends, and fellow Army veteran Pete Hegseth interviewed me. And in front of 2 million people, Carl, he said these are his favorite pair of socks. And it was great for us because he didn't say anything about them being American made. He said they're so soft. They're so comfortable. They have this fun patriotic design. That's why they're his favorite pair. But when you have an experience like that, that's when you read the fine print and see designed in Nashville, made in North Carolina. And then you go to the website and you want to learn more about the brand. You want to learn more about the story. So I don't know what Pat and Sarah talked to you about, but this is just another example that we found that people love because, Carl, you lit up when we talked about socks. You get it. It resonates. I mean, it's just another fun way. And we've had people in meetings kick their feet up on the desk, on the table, and have a little bit of fun with their socks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, I love socks. It's one of the things, and that is definitely one of the things we talked about, especially with Christmas coming around,
Yes.
and then the giving season and all that kind of stuff. Socks, and what better way to do that than to support, a veteran organization that buys from a veteran company that puts socks out that helps us extend our brand. I mean, we're going to get some socks. I'm just going to make the commitment. There's going to be some socks from Camaraderie Rescue Mission, maybe Heroes Badge and logo, Warriors logo on there, because they sold me on that before you brought those bad boys out. And I love my socks as well. And absolutely. And I work in a place now. I work with, Chapters Health System, and we work around the hospice area. I was pulled in with them because of their Valor program and how they work with Americans. So to have some socks on like that, you go in there and you get these guys that are very patriotic, and they see the colors and they see what you're doing and all that. It's just an amazing kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you pulling those out, because those socks, we're going to get some socks. We're going to get some socks. And Carl, we're going to get you some socks. We're going to get you some Camaraderie Rescue Mission, Heroes Badges, and Warrior socks. So we're going to make that happen.
That's beautiful. Thank you. You've got to bring the socks out. There's nothing I hate worse than people buy just a plain ordinary, the black socks, when you can have fantastic designs like them Stars and Stripes ones there. Especially the mismatch. That is beautiful to see. They're the same but different. They're connected, but it's just a bit of pizzazz in the morning, isn't it? Putting them socks on.
Yeah. Crazy Sock Friday.
Yes.
Carl, that relates to your question earlier about the graphic design. Greg, what you'll experience with Sarah, you'll have this fun idea, and then she'll create the digital mock-up, and you're like, that is it. That's what I had in mind. And then when you get them and you wear them the first time, you're like, what a fun design. And then they're incredibly soft and comfortable, like Pete said. So it'll be a bestseller for you. Yeah,
like I said, it's I leave it to the professionals. You know what I mean? She says, Greg, here's what you want. I was like, you know what? I think you're right. And so I'm excited to see that happen. So that'd be awesome.
They're a fantastic Christmas present. You're buying American-made socks, and it's also helping the charity out as well. So you can't go wrong with that, can you? You can't.
No, absolutely not.
I'm just thinking now. I can see bearded banter socks. I've got the works going on. What about baseball caps and that? You can see I like flat caps and things like that. Do you do baseball caps and things like that, Dean?
We absolutely do ball caps. We do beanies, a lot of things. We don't do a fancy hat like you're wearing, Carl, but that may be something we look in the future. But right now, standard headwear, beanies, ball caps, we absolutely do.
Hey, Dean, I do want to hit this before. I know we're getting short on time, but at 11 o'clock today, we have Katie Walker that's coming on from Revitalist Wellness, and they're just out of Knoxville, Tennessee, so they're not too far down the road from you. And she's going to talk about a lot of the great things they're doing, like a retreat that's over in Nashville that's going to end up going to Jamaica and doing some great things for vets. So I've teamed up with them. They're doing some really cool stuff. She's going to come on with some of her staff, as well as Al Yank. That's I hope I said his name right. He's out of it's called the Veterans Healing Farm. And so I would encourage you at 11 o'clock to come on, check out what they're doing, and then maybe connect with Katie, because I think there's some common ground. I do coffee for them. I actually have a coffee business as well that we're not going to get into on this one, but I sell coffee, and I actually have a brand for them called the Unit Coffee Blend. And every bit that goes to that goes to the services that they provide. So through my for-profit business, I actually give back as well. So.
That's wonderful. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tune in. I had shared with Carl earlier. Okay. I'm here in North Carolina, the Army versus Wake Forest game. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But Katie Walker.
No, that's awesome. Katie Walker's her name. Yeah, she's amazing. So she's the CEO of Revitalist and Wellness. Like I said, they headquartered out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And I do like sharing that stuff. Like I said, it's not just about us. They're doing great stuff, and that's how I met her. Somebody connected me with her, and now I'm trying to connect you with her. And she's just doing some really cool things. Her and her team.
Fellow Tennessee, fellow volunteer state neighbor.
Yeah, I'm from Kentucky, so we won't, you know what I mean? So somebody was talking about Duke. Somebody was talking about Duke last night, and I did everything in my power. I think it was Mark Lee. Sorry, Mark, if you're on here. But he was talking about Duke and North Carolina, and I really want to come off the top rope because basketball season's coming up on us really soon, even though we're still in football season. And I just had to back off. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep this good and keep it sporty, and I don't want to go and jump in too much because I may offend some people. I might do that, organically by myself anyway. I won't throw anything extra into it. So, but yeah, it's all great and fun, right?
Well, listen, gentlemen, it's been fantastic speaking to you. Greg, I should have brought you in early because at the start I did the team tea or team coffee, and you would obviously have gone with the team coffee. So my apologies for not getting you in to mention.
Hey, you're good. You're good. Like I said, this is about raising money. This is about doing stuff for vets. This is about teaming up with people like Dean and the other folks that have come on. It's about, just thanking you and all the other podcasts for doing this amazing job, and Dorothy and Tim for really putting it together. So just so cool. I'm just humbled and honored to be a part of all this. And for this time, I actually get to sit back and watch it happen and just get here and kind of chat. Instead of put it together, they've done all the legwork. I'm just showing up where they tell me.
Thanks. Great to have you in. All the details are in the scroller now if you want to donate or send a check. The details are there in the comments. Dean, before we go, again, it was fantastic speaking to you. I'm amazed at your brilliant T-shirts there and your funky socks. Is there anything else you want to say just before we click out now? It's time to wrap up.
I would just say, three things. One, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Greg. I mean, I love what you guys are doing, and I would encourage everyone who's tuning in to make a donation. I'm going to be doing it right when I hang up here. And then if anyone else on the line has an amazing charity, has a nonprofit that would love to partner with us, go to authenticallyamerican.us. We'd love to help out.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I'll just say, any donation amount counts, but if you donate £100, you go into this draw to win the, what's it called, Greg?
It's the Freedom Boat Club, the raffle that we're doing. So it's once we get to 2,222 people that have done it, we're going to draw a winner, and they'll get 6 months free membership, and all you do is pay for the gas after that. Really cool deal. And there's one in Nashville, I'm pretty sure.
If you're into streaming, you want to stream for vets, if you donate $500, there's a Mark Lee will produce your show for you, and another, if you make it up to $650, he will create all the graphics for you. And once you got that, you can go over to Dean at the end there and get them on your own T-shirts and socks if you want. Gentlemen,
that's right.
We got to go. It's time for Mark to start his show. Greg's got to go over to Mark Lee's show now. Dean, Greg, brilliant to have you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all soon. All the best with
it was awesome.
Stream.
Lots of fun. Thanks, Dean.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Carl.
Bye.
Toodles, everyone.